She's like, Barbie, what are you doing? Michigan. I don't like Michigan. I don't fit in here, bro. I don't fit in. I've gone through some shit in my life. Like some shit. And I'm so grateful for every one of those moments because I would not be where I'm at today. It's humiliating and maybe embarrassing to admit, but so why can't I do it too, you know? My rent in the Philippines was about $200. What's up? So today I want to talk about my experiences in the Philippines that quite literally changed the way I see the world and how I live my life. So, as usual, I didn't plan nothing. I have one story I know I want to talk about, and then my ADHD will take care of the rest. So, first, start with a story. So, when I was living in the Philippines, as soon as I realized I wanted to stay there, I was renting long term. So there it goes month to month. You don't really pay for at least a year up front, which is unheard of anywhere like here in America. You have to sign for a year. But there I was the first 3 months I moved around. You want to know what? My first month, I was just like renting an Airbnb for the month. And then I realized how expensive that was when I learned the value of a peso compared to a dollar. So I actually stayed somewhere in this mountain. It was so scary. I was staying for free because I had to take care of these dogs. It was like a dog rescue center. I had like 10 dogs to take care of. And there was just spiders everywhere. It was weird. So we didn't stay there very long because it was not cute. So then I found a place where you rent. I ended up staying there for a year and a half. It was a local family. They lived in their own, like right next door, kind of underneath, and I was upstairs. So I love this because I was able to, really experience local culture as a neighbor, and they knew I was alone. So you know how Filipinos are, always inviting, etc. They treated me like she felt like I was her responsibility sometimes. Anyways, so one day I decide that I want to do my own laundry. So all my friends there were locals. I didn't really have many foreigner friends because I'm going to be honest with you, I loved the locals so much. I saw the type of people they were, their culture, their values, their way of life, and it was just like, everybody asked me how I dealt with the culture shock. When you're traveling somewhere new, you're in their territory. You have to open up your mind to everything that they are doing because it's normal for them. It may not be for you, but that's their way of life. You know what I mean? So for me, I just go in with like just complete open mind to try everything. And you may like it more than your ways of life. Just because you did it for however many years that you were in your country doesn't mean that you can't like something different, And for me, I felt like those ways of life were like, wow, this is what I have been missing. And that's how you can look at it when you open, like your mind. Anyways, so my local friends, they lived so simply. They don't really have much of a choice, but they don't need a lot. They know what actually makes them happy and what's important in life, like family, human connection, giving time to others, being there for people truly. And they actually also have the time to give. In America, it's just like, I see why we're selfish. And honestly, I'm going to be honest, my friendships here are just convenient. Friends look at friendships as convenience. I haven't had friends here that really sacrificed for me and did something that didn't have a benefit for them. In the Philippines, strangers would do things for me more than a lot of people besides maybe my mom and dad would do here. So anyways, where I'm going with this is all my local friends, they did their laundry. They had to, they have no choice, but they don't have washers. They don't have dryers. They scrub with their hands. So I was like, if they can do it, so can I. Because I wanted to be like that. I thought they were amazing, people. So why can't I do it too, So the first time I decided to start hand washing my own, I only had a bucket. I didn't have one of those basins. So I go outside, and I also didn't have laundry soap. And if you know, in the Philippines, there are these things called sari-sari stores that are just everywhere. Every 300 feet, I swear, there is a store, walking distance. But for some reason, I don't know why, I might have not realized this, or I was like embarrassed to go there. I don't really know, shy or something. So I was using dish soap. I went outside. I used the hose, which is like kind of like where my neighbors are, my landlord, and they did. Anyways, I'm pouring the dish soap on my laundry, and I think she saw, well, first she gave me a Boston because she realized what I was doing, so like the big black thing. And then she comes outside, she's like, Barbie, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm doing my laundry. What does it look like I'm doing? And then, so she's like, hold up. And she comes back with a big bag of laundry powder. So she pours it on there for me. And it was just like, it meant a lot because she was taking time to help me. And she's giving me her laundry powder. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but for them, like, I know how much they make there. And it's just, you know what I mean? Whatever. So then, anyways, I'm like scrubbing away, trying. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm embarrassed to admit that I grew up with a washer and a dryer. I never had to hand wash something myself. So I don't even know if I'm doing it right. I'm just like winging it. And then, anyways, so like I rinse it out. I'm guessing how you're supposed to rinse it. I wasn't really sure what the way was, you know what I mean? So I'm like, what the heck? How do I get all the soap out? Anyways, I figure it out to an extent, and then I go to hang my stuff, and I don't have, a clothing rack or anything, so I'm literally just hanging the clothes over, like I have a table and a chair outside, so I'm literally just throwing it over that. So then my neighbor, she's like, Barbie, do you want hangers? We have hangers, and you can use our clothes. We have a clothing line, like you can use our clothes. Or no, first she says a clothing line. She's like, Barbie, like, we have a clothing line. You can use our clothing line. I come out with my 5 hangers and hang, and the rest I don't have. So she comes and she brings me 30 hangers. She just gives them to me. She's like, here, these are for you. And I'm like, wow. She just genuinely cared, And then I go inside for a bit, and I come outside, and there's like 3 guys that I don't even know because, Filipinos always have friends, family. They always had someone staying over. So they're hanging up a clothing line in my yard for me. And I was like, I can't even put words into explaining how this gesture felt and what it showed me. And I was like, when was the last time that I did this for somebody? Not literally, but, took time out of my day to do something that really brought value to someone else. So I thought about that. I was like, wow, I'm going to do that too. I'm going to, share this blessing that I received from now on. Anyways, I think at this point, I don't know if they gave me, I still didn't have enough hangers or something. I'm just throwing it over the line because I don't have the hooks and whatever. And she comes out and she is like, gives me a bunch more hangers. And maybe this is when she gave me the hangers. And then, there's like a certain way to do it. They clip the clips on the hanger so the wind doesn't blow off even if you have the hangers. So she literally comes out and is showing me how to do it, like putting the little clips on the hanger and just and putting it inside out. And that's something, whatever, like they just showed me, and I was like, wow, it just was a really sweet thing. And anytime I had a brownout while staying there, they would come and bring me a light. Anytime that I needed anything, it was holiday, they knew I was alone, so they're inviting me over there. But that experience was just one of something I swear to God I experienced every day. My bike would break down sometimes in the middle of wherever. Within 1 minute, I had 5 kuyas trying to come over and help me and playing with my bike and doing things that were just like, so basically. So from that and many other experiences, I just really saw what it's like to actually do things for other people. And that may not sound big, but it was just significant. And I had friends who, when I was sick, 5 different friends would text me or show up to my house with food, medicine. It was just incredible. I never experienced that. I lived for 4 years by myself in Miami. Never once did I have a friend like that. It's like, oh, what do you need? If they knew I was alone, you know what I mean? Everyone has their own separate lives over here. Everyone's too busy worrying about themselves because we're stuck in this rat race. And we are here buying things that we don't need. Back to the washer and dryer. Like I just moved into my dad's. I'm being my sister's official caregiver. That's a story for another time. But I was first living at my mom's when I came back to the States. And within my first month being here, the dryer broke. And they're not cheap. to replace, but it's a necessity. Within 3 days, we had another one because it's just like, you can't live without it. And I'm like, technically you could. Our dishwasher broke in the same month, and we broke again. It broke, and we bought a new one. And my mom was like, okay, like I have to be really careful about my spending. I'm like, don't worry, I'll chip in for it too, this month. But sample, it's like, those are two things that you technically can live. I lived without them for 3 years in the Philippines. I didn't use a microwave. I didn't even ever use a dishwasher. And I promise you, I forgot that I didn't have one because we hand wash everything. And I didn't even think twice to do so because it was normal there. So we have our convenience thing here, which I understand, and it's just our way of life. But here we are, and I have like people going to spend money on things. Nails. Having your nails done for girls is like, oh my gosh, a necessity here. And it's not cheap. Literally, you're probably going to spend $75 to $100 for your nails when you go and get them done. And girls do it every 2 weeks. That's a lot. And you think about that money, how else you could spend that? My rent in the Philippines was about $200, especially my first year before this island got touristy. So let me explain how I learned the value of money and the value of what I really need to survive. I only bought things that I needed. When I ran out of soap, when I ran out of, food, I buy more. I don't just buy to buy. People there would look at me the same if I had my hair done and makeup on to go to a party. And mind you, it's concealer and mascara. That's it. I barely wore makeup there, Or the same if I just came out of the ocean from surfing. I would wake up, wouldn't even look in the mirror. I'd be hungry, so I'd go to the Carinderia to eat, get on my motorbike, and I wouldn't even look in the mirror because it doesn't matter. And I pull up and all the ates are like, oh, Barbie, you're so guapa. I'm like, I just rolled out of bed. And they're giving me compliments. And they're just like we're just exchanging love and light. Like shedding this light into me. I'm like, oh, okay, like, all right, I'm awesome. Like, I want some tinola, like gusto ko tinola palihog, and they're just like laughing. Oh, you speak Bisaya, Barbie. Oh my gosh! And they're like, how was your this? Oh that. Oh here, you try this. Have you ever tried this one before? Like you try some of this. Oh like blah blah blah. Just like so loving and so kind, no matter what it was. You know what I mean? And people talk to each other. People connect with each other. We have become so disconnected in America. I'm shook, especially in Midwest and Michigan, because I spent time in California before this, where it has a lot more diversity and a lot more of an active community, things to do, entrepreneurs, just like people striving a bit more. The Midwest right now in Michigan is cold. It's not fun, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm making the best of it, and it's so good to be here with family. But people here don't say hi to each other. My neighbors, we don't say hi. Like I do, I'm like, hi, but they won't even look at me or initiate a hi until I do. And then they're like, oh, whoa, okay, hi, how you doing? It just takes a little bit to get somebody to open up and to smile. It's not hard. It's not hard to be nice. I don't understand why people here, their first thought is to be mean or to have their guards up. Like they're afraid that this person is going to do something to them, or they think that what this person is going to say is something rude and mean. You know what I mean? So it's very unfortunate. But I think through social media, I'm not going to lie, since I've been here in Michigan, I do want to stay home a bit more. And I'm not going to get into it in this video, but I had a lot of health issues and some personal issues happened to me the past year and two that really, really burned me out, where I get tired more easily. I have to be careful with how many things I do in a day because I will be extremely, extremely tired compared to my energy levels. Anyways. So I will spend a bit more time home now. And that means I will go on my phone a bit more, doom scrolling. And I never used to do that. So I do a lot of social media. I have 4 different platforms that I consistently post on 1 to 2 times a day. It's a lot of work, a lot. People don't realize it. And anyways, I would just post, manage my accounts, reply to comments, like edit, and that's it. I wasn't really scrolling. And I think that helped for one of two things. I wasn't really trying to follow trends and seeing what other people were doing to copy them. And I lived a life that was so authentic and true to me. I felt like just doing whatever I wanted, and I still do. But now I see how people start to copy and imitate people. It's one thing to idolize, but people try to strive to be these people that they're not. And they don't even understand that that person online is not showing all of their aspects of life, right? Or let's say I'm going to the gym and I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm gonna follow this girl. But this girl is like 5'10" and she's like, oh, maybe she's super muscular naturally and she's, like a weightlifter. And maybe I want to be maybe I'm 5'4" and I want to do Pilates and I just want to get toned and lose weight and not be a bodybuilder, like, for example. But let's say I start copying everything she does just because she's like works out. Now I'm striving. You know what I'm saying? That's like a small example, but whatever. People do that. I'm like, do you even realize that person that you're trying to be is not even aligned with your goals? Or this person is just flexing their life and they're not showing the hard stuff that they're going through too. Social media can be really fake and people don't realize that. And it also just gives you these weird emotions. Like sometimes I will feel a different way after doom scrolling. And I wonder, no wonder people are so disconnected. And I don't know, I cannot explain it, but you know what I'm trying to say? I realized not having social media, really living in this social media for a long time, how different life was. And now what I see here, it's just, wow, it's so different. Anyways, I have more things to talk about the differences and how it's like being back and things that I see now in America after never thinking I would move back to America. Never. I almost bought land in the Philippines. I was like, anyways, that I want to talk about that in the next video. But basically just the biggest compliment that I recently received from my family, and my mom told me that I've changed in such a good way. The coolest thing for me was seeing myself come back as a better person and with new eyes. When I was living here, I was young, I was immature, I was selfish. I was so busy working and hustling and into sports that I didn't really have time for people who mattered to me. And I didn't realize it was selfish because I was like, oh, it's my time. I have to. No one else is going to do this for me. No, I don't have in Miami, I didn't have my friends, family, everything I have to do myself. I'm alone here. I have to hustle. But I realized I might have lost some friendships or not been able to create relationships because I was so busy focusing on myself. And if I would have given to others, I'm sure God would have rewarded me for that. You know what I mean? And you can only go so far alone. I really learned that in the Philippines. I saw how my friends would do anything for each other. And it showed me how important family is when you have to do things that you don't want to do for somebody else, but because they need the help more than you. You know what I mean? And coming back, I didn't care to do things obviously I loved my family, but I would only do things for them at my convenience. I will admit that 100%. It's humiliating and maybe embarrassing to admit, but I am willing to, I love to self-reflect and I love to grow. And seeing now how I am voluntarily taking care of my sister. I moved into my dad's and I'm waking up at 6 a.m. to get her ready for school. And I'm not saying this to brag at all. I don't need anybody's brownie points. It's just crazy. I would have never done this 4 years ago. Never. I know it. And maybe I got to experience what I needed to. And with my sister, she will never be able to do a lot of the things I can do. Never. She can't walk. If I can wake up and I can walk, it's going to be a good day. You know what I mean? So anyways, I do think I live for both of us and I feel her in me and I want to experience life to the full value. And she watches every video, and she's so proud of me and I'm going to cry just thinking about it. You know what I mean? Being here for her right now, my dad, he needs help. I don't even question it. Not even a question. It's an honor to step up and help. And I would have never done that 4 years ago. And so it's something there in the Philippines that just changed me, you know what I mean? And I really saw when I was at my most successful time, when I reached 1 million followers, I was making the most money in all of my my businesses, my platforms, my YouTube channel, Facebook. I was my unhealthiest and unhappiest. I didn't have any time to give to anybody. I did lose myself for a while too on social media. That was tough, like dealing with some things online and having to put on this persona all the time. But I felt like when I was able to reflect from that and take a step back, um, yeah, it made me so selfish. I'm like, I came to the Philippines to be united with people and to live freely and simply, and I super was. But then this, like, I got this I started like working super hard again and applying what I used to do in America, hustling there, and it made my time selfish again. I didn't have much time to give to my friends, and it wasn't fun. It wasn't fulfilling. You know what I mean? I want to give to others. I want God to use me to reach others. Because what is this life if you are alone? Human connection is so important. And I feel like in America, we are really, really getting disconnected as humans. And I want to change that. I'm going to use everything I learned from Filipinos, their culture, their community, their resilience, and show that other people that there's a different way of life. You know what I mean? And I know no one will ever be able to experience what I have. And I am so grateful for that. I see other foreigners who visit the Philippines and they have a great time, and everyone has their own experience. But the way I was able to really feel like I was accepted by the local culture and want to be like them, I have yet to really see too many other people have the experiences that I have, and they're in my head, they're in my heart for the rest of my life, and I just can't wait to continue to do that. And through my brand, Barbary, if you don't know, I'm selling handwoven bags from the Philippines, and that allows me to still be connected to there. And I do still have an ice cream shop that I started selling ice cream on a bridge, man. It turned into, I just wanted to fit it in with the community and give back to them, especially the local kids. And I still have that ice cream. And because I have an amazing team of Filipinos and a friend over there who's like, my partner running it, and we have a group chat. The team sends me every day when they log in, I'm here, sending me videos. And it is the most, I'm like, wow, like I really did that. Like I really got to experience that. And I get to I don't even make money from it. Honestly, it's not much profit. Whatever is profit, I give it right back to all the staff and the team, because it feels so good knowing that there was one of the team members is not even from Siargao, and they didn't have a house, they didn't have a place to stay or a way to make money. And I said, you want to sell some ice cream? And they have been with me for over a year, and that's big in the island. That's really big. People, any other team members we've had, like weeks, they're out. They ask for cash advance on first day, blah blah. Not even gonna get to that. But this guy is just like, and he's able to. We provide him accommodation there, and just to see, and I'm able to give him bonuses more than he would make at another job anywhere on that island, and that's what I'm able to do for the team. And because I want to, what they do for me and what Filipinos have showed me over there, and I know how hard it is. The opportunity is not the same. There's a lot of things that I saw, and I'm like, oh my God, I took for granted the high school I went to, man. I hated my high school. I did. I'll admit it. But the opportunity, the resources that it provided, it's so different over there. It's so different. You need to be more grateful for what you have. You need to start thanking God for what you have in your life right now, because you don't know how hard it can be. And we all go through hard things. We all do. All of us. And that's what makes you into the person you are. I've gone through some shit in my life. Like some shit. And I'm so grateful for every one of those moments, because I would not be where I'm at today if it wasn't for those. And I would not be who I am today. And I would not be here taking care of my sister and staying in Michigan. I don't like Michigan. I don't fit in here, bro. I don't fit in. I do not fit in here. But family is important, and I got to do this. This is my calling. I feel like I am being called to do this right now. Be here. And I wouldn't have done that if I didn't live in the Philippines and become a better person and see a lot of things that I am so grateful. So grateful. And I don't care what anybody says, because they will never take those experiences from me. They will never take away my intention again. For a while, I let people, like, I tried to explain myself to people when I was misunderstood. I know what my intentions are. I know what God is doing in my life. And I know. And that's all that matters. And I just want you to be the same and apply that to, stay true to your values. No matter what you're going through, it's going to get better, and it's happening for a reason. You know what I mean? And somebody always has it worse. Do not play the victim. You are in control of your life. You can control a lot of things. A lot of things you can't, but you can control your reaction and how you're going to react to those things. This video was a little bit random because I told you I have ADHD, baby, but I'm just feeling so blessed and so grateful because even a month or two ago, I was still struggling, and I'm starting to feel like myself again. And ironically, it's at the same time that I'm helping my sister, and you know what I mean? God will do things in crazy ways. And I'm going to stop talking before I get emotional. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed this, if there's things you want me to go deeper in, please let me know. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, because this takes a lot of time, effort. So I would appreciate if you show me some love. Have a blessed day. What's up? What's up? What's up? So today I want to talk about